Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh, and this is our 32nd episode.
32.
You know, high five. Okay. Didn't know that was coming. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. So this week we've got again, 4 houses scheduled for us to go through, and then we're going to go over home inspections and why those are critical for buyers and what to expect.
Yeah. I'm really excited about today's show. We've got really interesting property. We've got one of our own listings that's fresh on the market that is just going to be a great deal for somebody. We've got single family homes, which, that's just
the bread and butter.
Bread and butter of the market, yeah.
And the spring is here, and market is definitely on the rise, and it is going full speed. So if you've got something that you're interested in that you want to see, please give us a call. Or if you're thinking about putting it on the market, we'd love to hear from you as well.
Yeah.
So let's start with the first one, and that's going to be 2722 Knight Street. 405 is the unit number.
Yep. This is a complex that is called Knight Street Townhomes, and it is really right in the heart of Oak Lawn. Great walkability. This complex was originally built in the 1950s, and a developer came through in the early 2000 era, 2002 to 2003, and completely redid the complex. It's about 65 units, and again, just perfectly located right in the heart of Oak Lawn. Great walkability to bars and restaurants, and it's backs up to the Sam Houston Elementary School. It's just a really, very, very convenient neighborhood that we've seen a lot of gentrification occur in the last several years.
And this is one of those areas that, again, as you were saying, the gentrification has come in, and you see everything from the brand new single families that are modern around the corner all the way up to the really great luxury apartments. So it's a really interesting neighborhood that's getting quite a bit of attention. The commuters love this little neighborhood, and this is an interesting way that the complex is set up because the buildings are not all connected. So it's not just one giant complex that's there. And this little complex has its own private courtyard, and you can walk your dog in there if you'd like. You can get outside the complex, walk on the sidewalks, enjoy the neighborhood. But this is a great unit because it's hardwood floors throughout. It's all one level. It's on the second floor. No one's above you, which is also a big plus. And they've done a really great job with the light that they get in here. So many times we see people that talk about the condos, and when you're looking at 832 square feet, you think, wow, am I living in a closet? And this is a great one because it has tons and tons of natural light, living room and in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
So
it is very well organized when it comes to space. So like you were saying, it does have one bathroom that opens into the hallway, but it's very convenient for both bedrooms. It has kind of the open floor plan that flows from the kitchen to the dining area and then into the living room. And these doors that you see there are about to all be replaced with windows. The complex is going through a really big capital infusion, and they are doing new pitched roofs on all of the buildings. They're doing that in phases. They are replacing these second story doors. These happen to look out over the pool, which is really one of the best views in the entire complex. And then the ones that are in the living room are going to be replaced with these double pane insulated windows that are going to provide even more light than what you see there.
And this is quickly becoming one of those neighborhoods that's extremely walkable. So if you're walking over and you want to get to the Katy Trail, this one also feeds directly into one of my favorite restaurants, Oishi. So if you want to get over for some quick sushi and half-price bottle of wine on Wednesday, this is a great one to look at. One of the things too is that if you look back, they have good-sized closets, but it does have full-size washer and dryer, and that's one of the things to really consider when you're looking at buying into a condo is what's the stackable situation on the washer and dryer. And this one does actually accommodate full-size size. It also has its own hot water heater, which is nice. And the HOAs are really great on this one. I think we're coming in right at about 305?
305 a month.
305 a month. So great complex overall.
And the HOA fee covers blanket insurance on the buildings, the water, sewer, trash, all the exterior maintenance. The shop that we saw the pool a while ago, there's a really cool covered common area in this complex that's got grills and it's got picnic tables, and it's all there for the entire community down on the end of the pool there. The pool, if I'm not mistaken, was replastered 2 or 3 years ago, and so this complex really just continues to reinvest in making their property better and better. This is definitely on the lower end of the price point in that neighborhood because there are million plus single family 3-story homes that are half a block away from this.
Yep. And this one, one of the things too, where was I going to go with that? Anyway, if you're looking for a gated community that's going to also have parking, this one is one of the ones. This is parking spot 5 and parking spot 9 for this one. So not side by side, but definitely really close. So it's not like you're on two opposite ends of the complex.
Yeah, and this has a couple of layers of security, which I think is really important to people too, because you have a layer of security that gets you into the parking area, but also through a pedestrian gate. And then you have another set of iron gates that you can see right here that get you into the private little courtyard. And this little courtyard, there are only 5 units that share this courtyard.
Yeah.
So it's a really kind of Melrose Place-ish type environment. So,
if you can remember that, that's a good way to remember it.
So 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 812 square feet. This is priced at $179,500, which is about $221 a square foot. Great complex, just really, really well worth the money. So give us a call if you'd like to see this one.
Yep. So now we're going to move up and we're going to head just a little further north. If you jump on the toll road from this house and just went due north, if you exited Royal and went to the east, I think 2nd or 3rd Street, you'd head north again on, and you would come across Meadowcrest. And Meadowcrest is one of those neighborhoods that really is a desirable, sought-after neighborhood. It's on the other side of the toll road. It's about as close to Preston Hollow without being in Preston Hollow, Devonshire adjacent. Again, if you're into the private schools and need all of that access, this is a great, great commuter into all that area. If you're trying to get 635 Dallas Toll Road, all of that is at your disposal. If you wanted to jump down and head over to DFW, this is great because you can get on Northwest Highway, and Northwest Highway will take you directly to the southern entrance of DFW Airport.
Yep. And this is a really, it's an older neighborhood. The homes were built in the 50s. When I say older, I say that because it's got a lot of really mature trees in the neighborhood. The houses are built with these really deep setbacks, which give you a really great sense of privacy, and you don't feel like you're kind of stuck in the middle of the city with these size lots.
And this neighborhood is going through that situation where you're both seeing people buy the lots and build enormous houses like the one that you can barely see on the right, or they're doing really good renovations, or you've got original owners. So it's a really healthy neighborhood. Not 100% on the rentals, but it seems like this has a very high homeowner occupancy in this neighborhood.
Yeah. And this was a home, we saw it on the market a couple of years ago before the current owners bought it. And I think, we were both pretty amazed with how well it was done. The house itself has these really beautiful hardwood floors. It's got the really open floor plan like so many people are looking for right now. Solid surface countertops, high-end appliances, and it all looks out with these really beautiful double slide doors that open from the center and give you great access out to the pool. And I mean, it feels like you just walk out the patio and you can walk right into the pool.
They've done a really good job of reinterpreting this house as an original ranch and making it into the soft contemporary that so many buyers want these days. The ability for you to have an eat-in kitchen like this, and I am roughly going to tell you that island right there is about 20 feet long. And the ability to have that and the dining room that then opens up to the outdoor entertaining area that then has the living room. It all just creates this great flow, which is so perfect for what people look at today and say, this is what I really want. They want that open space. The other great thing about this one is that the bedrooms are split. So you have master on one side and it is a suite This right here is the office at the front of the house, and then the bedrooms are on the opposite end. And we really like the way that they've configured the bedrooms because one of the bedrooms is actually set up where it could be a second master.
Yeah.
Because it has an ensuite bathroom, and then it also opens up to the outdoor space.
Yeah, very usable floor plan. The master bath that you could see right here has these really just, it's, I think those are 12 by 24 tiles.
Yep.
On the floor. They are complemented by the 12 by 24 tiles on the wall, and then that teak base that the sculptured tub sits on just really gives that. It's kind of that spa feeling that so many people are looking for.
It just makes sense because the way that they've actually put the master at one end, you don't really realize that you're walking to it. Outdoor space, they have done an excellent job of creating a very large covered area for entertaining that really works with the pool and the dining room to give you all of the opportunity. One of the things that we noticed also outside is that there's a second room that has a walk-in closet and its own HVAC system, and that actually they currently use as a gym, which it
has
is
so
versatile as
many
what you want.
uses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't even name it.
Artist studio,
Yep.
office, I mean, just playroom. This is the outdoor covered space that I think is just really, really cool. Wood deck that goes all the way across the back of the house. The windows that you see here are into the master bedroom.
Correct.
Really great outdoor flexible space. You could organize your furniture pretty much any way there. We were talking about, the possibility you could bring some kind of gas fire feature into there, whether it's a fireplace or, some small built-in electric fireplace. The pool, to me, this is really the way that a pool in a contemporary home should
Yes.
look.
I was gonna
It
hit
has
that. Thank you.
that decking that comes out over and just wraps around the top of the top of the pool, and who would not want to enjoy that backyard?
Yep, because right there you can see the entire house from one point of view. You see in the far left-hand corner, you see that is an actual treadmill in the guest room. If you look to the far right, that's the second master that we were talking about. In the middle is the living room, and then there's a hot tub as well. And what makes this amazing is that this is actually a 0.4 of an acre, and when I look at MLS, it is 100 wide by 180 deep. And so that really allows for a lot of privacy. A lot of times when they put the pool and it's the one story, the backyard is completely gone. There is so much space back there that you could do playground, you could do a dog run, you could do gardens, whatever you like. But it is such a great house. This is one of the ones that when we walked in, we were like, oh, we remember this one that came on the market.
Yep.
So.
And this one's priced at $1,199,000, fantastic value, $358 a square foot. We want to say thank you to Damon England for letting us talk about his home.
Yep, great house. Thank you so much, Damon. So let's take, and if we were to jump from this house and get on Meadowcrest, we would head a little west, get on Preston, head north, and then get on 635. Go all the way around, exit Plano. And this neighborhood over here is where the home of 10510 Maple Ridge Drive is. And this is a great area. This is one of those areas where when you're looking for that house, maybe it's your first home, maybe you're moving up and out of the condo situation, this is a great spot. You can get just about anywhere you want because you're really as close to the Lake Highlands as you can be. And then you can drop easily to the lower portion of East Dallas and be at White Rock Lake, Lois Greenville, everything that ties into that. Access to 635 has really come a long way because of now all the express lanes that allow you to shoot all the way from 75 past the toll road without ever having to be with all the exits if you need to get all the way over. So lots is done in this area.
The Lake Highlands Town Center is just really amazing. I mean, you've got Sprouts, you've got restaurants, you have, gosh, everything is coming up in there. There's a dart rail station in there. You've got a Mi Casina, there's a LA Fitness. It's right there at the corner of Walnut Hill and Skillman, has just kind of become the almost the downtown for Lake Highlands anymore.
And one of the great things about this is this could be an easy feeder if you were working at TI.
Yeah.
TI, if you also say that you were working at Dallas, University of Dallas, UTD, this would be a great commuter as well. Really good schools. So it's a 4-bedroom, which we were a little surprised that it was a 4-bedroom. It's a 2-bath. It comes in at 2,023 square feet. It was built in 1964. This is a neighborhood that is just about all 1-stories. and they all have a similar look and feel. This is one of the ones that's actually gone through the remodel process, and they've done a really great job. I feel like sometimes we walk through some of them and we realize that the budget may have like collapsed at the end, and this is one of the ones where we felt like everything happened and was purposeful. The edging on there is actually the iron edging that will actually oxidize, and it's extremely popular right now. You see it in hotels like Hotel San Jose, if you were in Austin, whatnot. Great look. And that feel and that look continue from the front door all the way to the outdoor seating area.
Yeah, the wood floors as you walk in, and they just shine at you. And as Weston said, we were really surprised at this one having 4 bedrooms, because when I walked up to it, I thought, oh, this is, another very traditional 3-bedroom, 2-bath over here. But the living space on it is just really opened up and done so well. This is what they probably did with this was they combined a living room and a dining room and stretched the living room back toward the kitchen a little bit, but still left plenty of room to put a dining table in there. And then the kitchen is done very, very nicely. They've kind of left walls where they needed to be, because it kind of breaks the house up a bit,
Right.
In a good way, but still gives you that really open feeling that so many people are looking for.
And I don't feel like in this house that they went where they were so hard contemporary. As you can see here, a lot of times they'll do white cabinets, and this is really refreshing to see a really nice wood stain that almost just looks oiled. It comes across really warm. They went back with the hexagon black tile on the floor, which I'm a big fan of, and then the white subway tile on the back. So it all really began to tie together. It's a galley kitchen that goes to and opens to the garage. And as you're going in there, there is a washer and dryer on either side. So you do have full-size washer and dryer hookup, and you're able to do everything from the actual kitchen area. The second living area actually is going to open up to the outdoor and gives you a lot of versatility if you're entertaining, if you're just having everybody over. This is a great way, not too far from the kitchen, so grilling and entertaining becomes super easy. One of the things, and I thought Jeff was dead on with this one, is that because it is a 4-bedroom, that 4th bedroom, the way that it abuts the master, would be such an easy way to create a large closet, or really think about reinterpreting the master bathroom and really be one of those value adds for the neighborhood.
Yeah, I would agree. And this neighborhood can certainly stand that kind of investment in a property, especially if you're going to have a long ownership cycle on it. Your opportunity to make all that time heals a lot of wounds in real estate. So, you can invest in something like that in this property. And if you're going to be there 7 years, 10 years, you can feel comfortable that investment's a really good, secure investment.
Yep. So this is an actual, this is a home that we would consider move-in ready, turnkey. Everything from the fence being done to the flower beds in the front yard are completely done. So this one is priced at $419. And that comes in at $207.12 per square foot. It is Lake Highlands Estates, so that's a great value add for you. And we want to say thank you so much to Philip Tilger for allowing us to highlight his home. Great house.
Great house, Philip. Thank you. So our next one is jumping south of there, and this is going to be down on the southern point of White Rock Lake in the Santa Monica edition. This is another neighborhood that's got a real deep, rich history in the city of Dallas. Its convenience to White Rock is really amazing, and it is one of those areas of town where it's kind of like Oak Cliff, where you've got a little topography to the land, and in many parts of, let's say, North Dallas, it's just very flat. This is a neighborhood that you really do get the feeling that there's some kind of rolling hills going on. This is very close to Samuel Grand Park, which also has one of the municipal golf courses here in the city of Dallas. And while I'm not a golfer, I understand it is a really good municipal golf course.
There's also a brand new in the little shopping center there that has really caught on, where the Tom Thumb, and there's also the hardware store that's there. There's also a new little beer craft store. So like Jeff, I'm not a big golfer, but if I am going to drink beer, this is a great place. There's also a really good staple there called the Goat. That's a great place. Carne Russo is also around the corner from this. And then the Lot and the Local is another one of the restaurants that's just around the corner. So great area, has really seen an insurgence into the infrastructure in this lower portion of the lake, and it's really paying off in the values that you're seeing in some of these homes.
And this is another neighborhood that's just very, very convenient to downtown. I mean, taking Gaston
Yeah.
basically over to Live Oak, and it shoots you right into downtown Dallas. So if you are one of those urban dweller or urban workers, it's a great little friendly neighborhood to be in.
Super easy to commute in and out of. This house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It is 1,650 square feet, 2-car garage. And one of the bonuses is that above the garage, there is going to be an actual apartment. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. But this home has tons of charm. Just like Tudor's, their charm factor is through the roof. From the arching front door with the leaded stained glass. This home has a first-time home buyer, even a downsizer would really feel comfortable in this home. The configuration gives you a lot of entertaining space at the front of the house with 2 seating areas. The slide before was on the left of the front door, and this slide right here was to the right. The configuration is really interesting, the way that it actually flows. You can see through this picture on the right-hand side that that's the dining room, and if you just took 2 more steps to the other side, you'd be in the kitchen. So it has this stair-step traditional Tudor floor plan. If you've been in one, you understand what we're talking about. If you haven't, give us a call and we'll walk you through it. And then the bedrooms are around it. Great sized bedrooms as well.
Yeah, very much so. And this one, this kitchen is solid surface countertops. The hardwood floors continue in through there. You got the very traditional white 4x4 backsplash, and then that comes down and is the lower section of the countertops. Farmhouse sink. It's been updated nicely, but they didn't like over update it. They really kept the charm that you want to have when you buy a house of this magnitude in that neighborhood.
I'd agree 100%, because there are times when something is so modern, because it's what everybody is looking at today, that it really doesn't look, and the house kind of doesn't flow together. This one still kept its integrity.
Yeah.
And one of the amazing things about this house, and I feel like all of the houses this week so far have had it, but we've got really good outdoor space as well. This one, again, we're seeing more and more people focus on extending their living cycle outside. And so you get fireplaces, and you get covered spaces, ceiling fans, you get entertainment fixtures, speakers, everything. And this one has taken it one step further. And this one actually has a putting green. So you could actually watch the Masters, and you could go stroke for stroke with Tiger Woods if you felt like that was something that you wanted to do.
Yeah. Really great space in the backyard, like Weston was saying, and this continues beyond the putting green to go upstairs of the garage, where there is a little guest apartment, I guess I would call it.
Yep.
It's kind of a fully self-contained efficiency type apartment, studio type apartment with a full bath up there. Full bath?
Nope, half
No,
bath.
half bath
But
up
easily
there.
could be converted.
Yeah. And, it could be, there's so much flexibility that one could have with that space and what to use it for. Again, it might be, office or artist studio, or, make it a gym, or
Yeah.
just really great flex space.
It is. And one of the other things too is we always talk about multi-generational and how important multi-generation is right now. And this could be one of those things that could really add value into a home. Work from home, again, we can't tell people how many times they really want to be able to work from home, but they don't want to be in their home. And this is a really strong contender for that. So if you're looking for a home that is just on the other side of the lake, in a sleepy little neighborhood with lots of topography, great walkability, this would definitely be one of the ones that we would encourage someone to look at.
Yep. This is priced at $599. That brings it in about $370 a square feet. And we'd like to say thank you to Justin Easterling for letting us show her property today.
Thank you so much, Justin. We appreciate it, and it is a wonderful home. So again, a great set of homes. If you have anything that you would like us to talk about, or if you need more information on one of these homes, please let us know. We'd be happy to help you out with that.
We'd be happy to help you.
Happy to help you out. So we're going to transition real quick, and we've talked about inspections before, and I think that the last time that we talked about inspections, we were talking about for sellers, and we were talking about why is it critical for a seller to do a pre-inspection, and how do they navigate that. But we wanted to go ahead and say the traditional way that inspection happens is for a buyer. And so what we've done is created 5 tips that we think are critical. And we're just going to go over these with you quickly. A lot of it is our take on what things are so important for us. So sit back, give us your thoughts, and let's start the first slide.
So in the first in our set of 5 tips today is the the timing about showing up for an inspection. Critical. Whenever our experience is when you talk to inspectors work for whomever hires them, most of the times the buyers. And the inspectors are going to encourage you to do what you want to do and what makes you feel best. And they will encourage you to come to the inspection, come whenever you want. It's kind of been our experience that that's not always the best thing to do. So,
well, typically, the analogy that we're going to say is that if someone was having exploratory surgery done, you wouldn't interrupt the surgeon and ask them what's going on. You would let them finish, and then they would come into the room and give you the summary. And this is exactly what happens on the house. So an inspector has a format in which he's going through, and if you're interrupting, he's always going to be polite and he's always going to respond. But you could be causing him to miss something. And we would really hate that because this is our one chance to really know what's going on with the house. So we always encourage people to wait until the end of and then the summary is what's gone over. Anything that they find that is of question for them, they actually will walk you to it and show you it firsthand. So it is a really clear understanding. And this is what is so critical. We want them to have all the opportunity without any of the distractions to make the best assessment of your house.
Yep. And it really does make a difference because, we've seen it many times where, buyers will buyers will be waiting outside when the inspector gets there, and there might be that initial, handshake, and then before you know it, the guy's kind of following the inspector around and following him up on the roof, and that I can tell you that scares inspectors because there's a lot of inferred liability with when somebody does that with them. So it will throw them out of their pattern.
Right. The other thing too is that if there's something that we're not clear about, say in the next 24 hours, we can't quite decipher what that was or is it really. We call them all the time. Pick up the phone and get on it with them, put it on a conference call and really hash out what we're talking about so that we all know. And a lot of times people are afraid that that inspection is just their one single time with the inspector, and it's not. They will pick up the phone. If need be, they will come back out and do re-inspections. So this can all play out quite well.
Yep. So let's move on to point number 2.
All right, and let's see, deficiency.
The definition of deficient. So when an inspector inspects a piece of property, there are really one of 4 choices that they have on the inspection report. They can have inspected, not inspected,
Present, not present.
Not applicable, and deficient.
Right.
And deficient means there is something with whatever is being inspected that does not exactly meet the current building code or the current standards for how that is done. And it could be out of alignment just a minute amount, and that's deficient, where it could be completely not working, and that is also deficient.
Right.
So a good inspector is going to take the time to not only go through what we just said, but they're going to take the time to go back and go over every one of those items and really kind of help you figure out what is important and what might not be as important in the grand scheme of things.
And this is how it is so black and white. So deficient if a smoke alarm doesn't work. And a smoke alarm could not be working because it's simply out of battery. Deficient on an outlet, or if there is a light in the closet because it's missing a light bulb, the light bulb's burned out. So it's not always that simple, but we always want people to understand that deficient, we really want to get to the heart of what the deficiency is. There's not another checkbox that they're allowed to use since it is a promulgated form from the state. So we take that with a grain of salt. And we really work with you to really distill down what are the items that we need to pay attention to.
Yep.
So I think is going to segue us right into the next question that we have here. And I believe that is focus on the key systems of the home. So what are, if we kind of go over this, there are about 4, Jeff's phones over there just going away, I tell you. There's about 4 or 5 things that we really want to stay focused on when it comes to the key elements. A lot of times they're going to notice when there's things that are smaller that you may get hung up on, but we really want to talk about roof, foundation, electrical, and plumbing.
And
right?
HVAC.
And HVAC. So these are the big ones. And tell us a little bit about why it's so critical for us to focus on these.
Well, these are usually the big ticket items. I mean,
Yes.
that's really what it comes down to is, if your roof is at the end of its life and it's going to need a new one shortly, then, chances are your insurance company is going to pick up on that as well, and they might not provide the same level of insurance that you would traditionally hope for, like with the 1% deductible.
Right.
They might provide it just with a, limited type policy. So the roof is really important. Foundation, that is, can end up being expensive because it's, foundation is not one of those things that you just level the house, but it impacts plumbing. It impacts the cosmetic nature of the house. It impacts the alignment of the doors. So, foundation is another one that I think is super critical.
And these are all items that can be hazardous or cause a problem, but that is the caveat, is that these are the core, but there are other items like if they've used glass that's not the tempered glass in a certain area that need to be addressed. This also goes back into smoke alarms, where these are items that we're looking at that are bigger ticket to make sure that everything is okay in the house.
And really, it's you have to. I always try to set a reasonable expectation with people where they you have to balance the deal you're getting with the house with the condition that you're getting the house in.
Right.
If you're getting a really great deal on this house and you beat a bunch of people out for this house, and it is one of those financial finds that you may never come across again, and then you get an inspection report that's not meeting your standards, you just have to kind of balance whether you're willing to, whether that's the right place for you or not.
Absolutely. And so what these slides are all kind of built to feed into the next one. And so the next one is for us to talk about what additional inspections might we need. And additional inspections, we're talking about the primary inspection is the mechanical inspection. And that mechanical inspector is going to make notes if there is additional licensed inspectors that need to be brought in. So whether it's a plumber, whether it's HVAC, whether it's electrician, it's a roofer or foundation, this is when they're going to say, call out that additional. And during that option period is when we're going to work through this. And this is when we really go into like what is going on with the house and behind the scenes.
Yeah. Normally the inspections are done within the first 7 to 10 days. All of the inspections are done in the first 7 to 10 days of the contract. And so, it's like when we get something under contract, we encourage the buyers to book their mechanical inspection as quickly as they can, because if the mechanical inspector says, well, I really want you to get this looked at by a plumber, it could take another 2 or 3 days to get a plumber out there. So
Right.
you want to make sure that all gets wrapped up within the time frame that you have to make sure that you're getting the right house.
Yep. And so once we've looked at all of these things and we've got a really clear picture of what the house is, now it's time for us to sit down and figure out what are our next steps and how do we best get things handled for these repairs. And this has to be said that this is a case by case. It's case by case. It's time of the year. It is
Property by property.
yes, and it is what is the speed of that market. So everything changes a little bit, but there are cores that we feel are really important. And we have really kind of decided that the best thing that we like to do is get as many bids as we can and then present everything to the seller and negotiate for cash. So that's not the only way that you can do it. There are other ways.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of I look at it from, what is, I think would be best for me if I were in that buyer's position. And, I think many times when you're trying to get a seller to do repairs for you, the seller's idea in most instances is to get it done in the most economical way. And you as the buyer want it done in the highest quality way. And those two goals don't always mesh with one another. And so if you can come to some happy medium of what the cost might be and then negotiate for that money, then it gives you the opportunity to get those repairs done in the quality that you expect them to be done in.
The other thing too is that by actually getting the money to do the repairs yourself, you have established a relationship with that vendor. You've also been able to select which vendor is the one that is going to be performing these repairs, and therefore everything moving forward, if there is anything, is easier. There is a pedigree, there is a knowledge of the home going forward.
Yep. Yeah, and it does make a difference to have that relationship built up, especially as you become a homeowner. you're going to need those relationships going forward.
And one of the things that we always do with our clients is the minute we know that we're going under contract, we move right into providing 3 inspectors for them to choose from, getting that on the phone, getting it set up, and then knowing even before the inspection is completed if there are other inspectors that are going to be needed. And that's how fast we try to stay on top of things to allow our clients the maximum amount of time to make a decision without feeling pressured in that option period of what they want to do with that home.
Right.
So
Good discussion about inspections.
yeah,
Yep.
if you need an inspector, if you feel like there's something going on with your house or just want to have the overall work looked at, this is a great time to call us, email us, or jump online on the Facebook app and let us know that you are in need of inspector, and we'll be happy to shoot something over to you.
Yep. Or we'd love to help you the step before that, which is getting under contract to purchase a home.
This
So,
is true. This is true. So that is about a wrap. This weekend is Easter. So we want to wish everyone a wonderful, safe, and happy Easter. Go out there and enjoy time with the family, go to the Pooch Parade, go to gospel brunch at House of Blues, whatever it is, we'd love to hear about what you're doing.
Yep, we sure would. And we want to say thank you for tuning in with us today. We appreciate the time you spent here. If you'd like to visit our Facebook page, you can kind of see what's going on with us from that perspective. You can also visit us on Instagram at Updike Pugh. We've usually have pictures of our listings out there and just some of the things, kind of keeps you in touch with what we're doing. And you can also go to our website, which is updikepugh.com. It's a little bit more detailed in information. You can set up custom market reports. And then last of all, go to homeprice.fyi. If you want a value on your property, just go put your address in, add a couple of pieces of information, and you will instantly get a value. Last of all, reach out to us in a very traditional way. Text us, phone call 214-377-2223. We would love to hear from you.
Thanks so much, y'all, for tuning in. Remember, we want to be your realtors for life.